And we're back. NCC sports reporter Ty Butler has your sports update. Ty?
Following a season-high 5-game win streak, the Syracuse men's basketball team fell in Louisville and dropped to 8-6 in conference play. But this afternoon, the Orange had a chance to get back to his winning ways against Pittsburgh in the Carrier Dome. Let's get right to the action. Jim Boeheim coaching in his 40th season is one he'll probably never forget. The Panthers figured about Tyler Lydon in the first quarter, and he makes them pay from downtown. Then Richardson finds Lydon in the lane for a two-handed slam. The 6'8 freshman had it going early for the Syracuse Orange. But back came the Panthers. Defense leading to offense, 3-on-1 break. Sheldon Jeter switches hands in the air and finishes for 2 of his 9 points in the game. Second half, Pitt by 4, floater no, but Ryan Luther cleans it up and extends the lead to 6. Minutes later, Syracuse down 2, and Lydon says not anymore as he drains this deep 3 for 3 of his team-leading 21 points. Orange now trailing by 2 until Dajuan Coleman cashes in on his date with the rim. Two-handed slam. This could come down to the wire, or maybe not. Pitt responds with a tray courtesy of Jamel Artis. He finished with 21 points, and his team finished on a 21-7 run to stun Syracuse. 66-52 was the final score from the Loud House. The Orange fell to 8-7 in conference play, and following its second consecutive loss, Boeheim said it was a struggle offensively. Welcome back to the Channel 9 studios. I'm Ty Butler. From playing in the Final Four in his freshman year to possibly going to the NBA next year, Malachi Richardson announced on Twitter he's declaring for the NBA draft.
Everyone in Syracuse that impugned his decision-making, everyone that said it was a catastrophic mistake to leave Syracuse, they will be silenced because Malachi Richardson will have transcended all the chaos in Sacramento.
Good news, Orange fans, a win would likely punch that ticket into the NCAA tournament, but the bad news is it would have to come against a Pittsburgh team that has had Syracuse's number all season.
He is recognized as the best player in this draft. You look at his framework, 6'10", 240 pounds. You look at his athleticism. He can finish at the rim, and he's also a really good distributor. He can find his teammates.
How about some Masters action? And oh, what a Sunday this was. Something tells me this would come all the way down to the wire. Maybe it was a little birdie that whispered this into my ear, or maybe it was a bogey. It was senior day at the Carrier Dome for the women's lacrosse team as number 8 Louisville came into town to take on the number 4 ranked Syracuse Orange. But adding some flavor to that senior celebration was history in the making. That's right, Kayla Trainer came into this affair with 249 career goals, one shy of SU's all-time record. Yeah, being on the brink of history makes you smile a little bit. And all the seniors joined in with smiles of their own right before the action. But then it was game time, so that meant Trainer time, as she scored goal number 250 within the first 90 seconds. She tied Christina Dove for the most goals ever in program history. But she says, I'm not just a scorer, I can set up my teammates too. Nicole Levy puts it in the net for the first of her 3 goals on the afternoon. Trainer doing it all, now she finds Kelly Cross for another goal to make it 3-0. Then Trainer says, okay, time to get that record. She scores goal number 251, and now she's the all-time leading scorer for Syracuse. The Orange take down the Cards 13-10, and now it's on to the ACC tournament. Yes, you get into the tournament after all that adversity, and you win back-to-back games by an average of 22 points. Not bad, right? But then you proceed to beat a Gonzaga team that was favored after trailing by 7 late in the game. But let me tell you what's even better. Scoring 47 points in the second half against the number 2 ranked defensive team in the country, and ultimately coming back from 16-point down to win that game and go to the next round. It's interesting that you asked me that question, because had you asked me this on Valentine's Day, I would have said absolutely. And that's not just because there was love in the air, but because Syracuse had just defeated Boston College to improve to 18-8 on the season overall and 8-5 in conference play.
So overall, who's in the better situation? You can say Michael Benedict with Detroit, Stan Van Gundy. He's a leader. That's a team that's rife with talent. Tobias Harris and all those boys over there, Greg Monroe. But in terms of who's going to have the better career, who's the better player, I'd have to give that nod to Malachi Richardson.
That's right, Steve. The head coaching search has ended as Dino Babers will come aboard the Orange ship. He previously coached at Bowling Green last year, who went 10-4 and won the MAC championship. Highly respected for his recruiting, his coaching expertise, and his ability to galvanize the team. He's coming into a situation where he's looking to rebuild this program. This is a team that's coming off back-to-back losing seasons, 3-9 in 2014 and just 4-8 last year. But the addition of an accomplished head coach in Dino Babers does certainly create a sense of optimism that the program is heading in the right direction.
Now batting the pitcher, number 34, Aaron.
It can get pretty lonely out there at NBT Bank Stadium.
The fans, for some reason, just don't come.
And that's been an issue for some time now. In a ballpark with just over 11,000 seats last year, the Chiefs averaged about 3,800 fans per game with an overall attendance of about 262,000. This was good enough for dead last in the league for the second consecutive season. Though the struggles of the Syracuse Chiefs are well documented, Jason Smorrow said he's going to remain optimistic. It's a simple equation, addition by subtraction. He's not going to worry about the things that he doesn't control, but instead he's going to focus on everything he does control.
We don't pick our players. We can only control the promotions and the fireworks and the customer service and the marketing and all that stuff. So if we put our all into that and put some effort in it, we're seeing the result.
The year before Smorrow took over this team, the Chiefs lost nearly $1 million. Then in his first season, the deficit was at about $240,000. And despite being in the attendance basement again last year, the deficit significantly decreased.
But I'm optimistic because each of our 2 years we've done better than the previous years. So each year we're getting more people. Each year we're losing less money. And there's no reason to think that this year won't be a similar result and we'll have an even better year than we've had each of the last 2 years.
But this optimism hasn't eliminated the issues at hand, as the Chiefs have asked the county for some much-needed help.
They started out the negotiations asking us to take on the utilities, to take on the costs, and to lower the rent. We're in the process of negotiating.
McMahon says they're willing to compromise, but there's one thing that's not negotiable.
Extending the lease has to be part of it. We need a commitment from the team that they're going to stay here and stay here longer, and there will be a penalty if they sell the club within the lease terms.
The negotiations between the Chiefs and the county to keep this team financially afloat at NBT Bank Stadium are about 85% complete. But McMahon has 100% confidence in Jason Smorrow.
Just, he's going almost door to door selling this franchise and this club in a way that hasn't been done in decades.
McMahon hopes taxpayers see the wisdom in the county working with Smorrow and the Chiefs.
So every time we have an employer come that's looking to come to Central New York, they're looking at what is there for our kids to do. Do you have a symphony? What do you have a vibrant downtown? What's your arts and cultural attributes? What's your sporting attributes?
But things seem to be heading in a positive direction as management has sought to improve that fan experience, and for some, it seems to be working.
Well, I've got Walter here as my firstborn son, and it's kind of a great place for us to go together where he can run around and we can have snacks and things like that, and I can obviously stay and enjoy the game. It's a pretty good family experience for us both.
Ty Butler, NCC News.